Story time. The day is September 2nd, and I feel amazing. Let me tell you why. If you've been watching this stream for the past 2.5-ish weeks, God, I've been tired, right? I've been really not feeling very good. I went to a wedding a few weeks ago, and because it was a wedding, I drank, hung out, danced, go out to meals with the family, you drink, you hang out, you talk, come back home, and, I've been looking to lose weight anyways, and I just kind of don't like how now that I'm 35-ish, I say 35-ish because I do have the maturity of a small child. Now that I'm 35-ish, there's this thing that I've been noticing that annoys me, which is that, if I have some drinks at a wedding and then go to sleep, I just have bad sleep, I don't sleep very well. I wake up the next day and I'm always sort of like, Or even if I'm just having some beers and watching an amazing Korean drama, such as Nevertheless, that I thought was quite good. Not as good as It's Okay, That's Love, but good nonetheless. But good nevertheless. I literally missed out on the pun, or the joke, It doesn't fucking matter. Ignore that. Let's rewind back to story time. So, I just hate this thing where if I'm having some beers watching a Korean drama and I wake up the next day on Saturday and I just kind of feel groggy and not good. I'm just I feel off. It's not terrible, but I like that feeling of being focused, being on, being able to concentrate on something. And so when I got back from the wedding, I was like, I'm just gonna cold turkey, just stop drinking because I'm tired of getting this sort of groggy feeling. And again, if you wake up 3 days in a row when you're at a wedding, because it was a wedding weekend sort of thing. If you wake up 3 days in a row and you're sort of just hard starts to the day, I just was tired of that garbage. Also, let's be honest, I don't know about you, but I've been becoming a very large and robust man in quarantine. What an easy way to lose weight than to just cut out drinking calories. I've done this before where I just stopped drinking delicious Thai iced teas, a tasty Mexican Coke with tacos, a beer, Arizona iced teas / sugar water. I love that sort of stuff. What an easy way to begin the weight loss process gently. Just cut out drinking the calories. So I was like, this is great. I'm so smart, I'm going to stop doing this. And so, get a pretty good night's sleep, 1-2 nights, but then I just starting to feel a little tired, feel a little off, and I'm thinking, I haven't been on a plane in 2 or 3 years at that point, so yeah, that was a lot of intensity, so maybe I'm just kind of having a backlog of exhaustion from the travel. And then more time passes, and you're seeing me on stream, and I'm kind of tired, and I'm making, really fundamental misplays in Magic. I always make misplays in Magic, but I'm making some really basic stuff that I'm just, my brain's not working, so I'm feeling, tired, I'm feeling a little off, and things are just not really improving and getting better. And I just had this horrifying moment where I'm like, oh my goodness, am I having some sort of alcohol withdrawal? Was I actually drinking that much? Here's the thing. I think that no matter how much you ever consume, it's good to regularly ask yourself, am I doing this too much? Is this something that I have habitized, or is it something that I'm choosing to do? Is it just a safe, healthy adult thing to do? Because there's a lot of vices. Gambling is fun, but it can be very harmful if you do it in the wrong way. Frankly, eating donuts can be fun. But if all you ever eat is donuts, your health is probably going to suffer in some way. So with drinking, I just had this oh my gosh, did I develop a dependency and I'm having withdrawals? And I looked up some of the withdrawal symptoms and there was some overlap. And I was just wow, oh my gosh, goodness. But then the last 3 days or so, I was getting tight chest muscles and tight leg muscles. And I was waking up after 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and I'd eventually fall back to sleep, but I was just man, what did I do? This morning, my wife comes in and says, hey, I have funny news. It turns out we've been drinking decaf coffee. And so, let me drink some caffeinated coffee. And so, if you have watched me at any point in time, you know that my chemical of choice is coffee, is caffeine. You know I'm drinking coffee all the time. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to go get water, get coffee, use the restroom. I say this all the time. I am a regular consumer of caffeine. And so, you know, as it turns out, when I went and looked up caffeine withdrawal symptoms, I scored I was 100% of them. I got an A+ on my caffeine withdrawal score sheet. I mean, it was hilarious. It was like 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Like all these things. I never get headaches, but I was like having headaches. Oh my God. I always tend to sleep like a rock, right? But my God, I was like getting up in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh. You know, I was also feeling like a little lightheaded at times, and my brain was slow and sludgy and not functioning. Oh, it was so rough. And then it turns out I'm just drinking decaf coffee. So I've had 2 cups of coffee today, and I actually feel powerful enough to move tiny objects with my mind. I feel myself not tripping over my words in the way that I have. In the last 2.5 weeks, I've been like tripping over and like getting tongue-tied, like crazy much. It's nuts. This is awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Let's just have ourselves a good little coffee. And it's funny, yeah, it's kind of funny because like when you're just grabbing coffee at the store, right? You're just like, oh, well, we drink a lot of coffee. So let's get bag of coffee. Sometimes you just grab decaf on accident, you know, because they put them next to each other. And I really think that's on the grocery store. I don't think that's my fault. I think that's the grocery store's fault. So it's just so funny because all of a sudden I'm reading through the symptoms and it's just like some things can include muscle cramps and heart palpitations. And I'm like, I've been having a lot of muscle cramps and a lot of chest tightness. I don't think it was muscle palpitations, but I'm thinking a lot about my heart and my chest because I just have this feeling. Oh my God, it's just incredible. So now I am ready to play some historic Magic the Gathering as the most powerful man in the world. And someone says, I could be wrong, but being dependent on coffee isn't great for you either. I've actually talked, again, I like to do this regular check-in thing. I have talked to doctors before about, hey, here's how much coffee I'm drinking. I drink a lot of very, very weak coffee. But I've talked to 2, 3, 4 doctors about this. Like, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm not, like, overdoing it or something like this. And all my doctors have said, yeah, all your blood pressure, your medical numbers, your medical data, your character sheet of you as a human looks fine. However, if you're in periods where you're having a lot of anxiety, make sure you don't over-caffeinate because you can just give yourself an anxiety attack unnecessarily. So, you know, I think it is, again, very reasonable to go ask a medical professional about it. And, you know, in the past I've done that. And in fact, one doctor actually suggested that, like, I not drink during the week, don't drink in the weekend, that my body will respond more positively if I, like, drink coffee during the week and maybe have less on the weekend or the same on the weekend. So it's incredible.